Respect, this is Six. You are listening to the one and only Scott Free, 89.5 FM, CIUT, reppin' the prophecy.
Keep it locked. Keep it locked. Keep it locked. 89.5.
Keep it locked. 89.5. Keep it locked. 89.5. Keep it locked. 89.5.
We don't follow the flow. We created it. 89.5 FM. Real Radio.
Check one, check two. Good evening, world. Scott Free here for another edition of The Prophecy. I will be your host this week, taking you straight through to 10 o'clock, bringing you the most upfront drum bass and jungle from around the world, right here on CIUT 89.5 FM, the new sound of your city. Lots of shouts rolling in already. I will get to them in a moment. Kicked off the show with the sounds of Six, which I believe is now out. The Shade EP. That one's entitled Caller. And this one, the sounds of Schematic. Don't You Know? Give me a signal. Let me know you're tuned in at ScottFree_DJ on Twitter, ScottFree on Facebook, or plop a comment down in the Prophecy group. I'm going to touch on the CIUT Spring Membership Drive, which is kicking off in a week's time, Monday, April 11th through to Sunday, April 17th, which will be the Prophecy broadcast of this spring's edition. So keep it locked. Don't know exactly where we're going to go with the music tonight. We'll see, though. And we got special guests coming in, I think at the top of the hour at 9, but I could be mistaken. Guerra and Stone, all the way from the UK, in town this weekend. And they'll be touching down at church tonight at Baseline. So we're going to have a quick little chat with them. So stay tuned for that. Lots of good stuff. Once again, at ScottFree_DJ on Twitter, ScottFree on Facebook. Let's do this. Right here, again, CIUT, the new sound of your city.
Prophecy. We create the content.
gonna hop in the mix with this one here. This one's entitled Come to Realize by Straying Reality, which is the liquid deep alias for Skepsis out there in Calgary. Big shouts to Tyler. He sent me a tune like first thing, at some point last night. It's wicked. I'm gonna play it later. A very cool tune. So let's get the shouts out. Shouts to Michael Justin Mandel, Corey Slater, David Arpad, Roland Drinkwater, Bunny LaRock, Bridget Kosman, Chris Grimsby, Scales. Yes, Corey. Got the feet up. Chillin'. Who else we got? Mr. Dan Dubois, Schematic. The lovely Christine and the Mini Free. Matt England. Josh England. Yes. And Rubes. Ed Hanlon. Austin Norris. Austin wants me to make sure I send some love out to Jennifer Harvey on the drive back to Toronto. Heard you had a tough week, hun. Glad to hear you're feeling better. Thanks for tuning in. Freeston Yates. Mike Fatrilda, I'm gonna guess. I'm guessing on that name. Open. James St. Bass tuned in. Gwen's tuned in. Zorn's tuned in. Lots of peeps tuned in. Once again, Guerra and Stone stopping by, representing Ram. They're touching down at Church tonight at Baseline. I'm going to give the full details when they're in the studio. Stay tuned for that. Time to get in the mix. Keep it locked right here till 10 o'clock. Shouts to Heather Scott. Great last name. Going straight through to 10 o'clock right here on the University of Toronto Community Radio, CIUT 89.5 FM. Boom. Shouts to DJ Clear as well. Boom.
Keep it locked. 89.5. Keep it locked. 89.5. Keep it locked. 89.5. 89.5.
Brian D. tuned in as well. This one, the sounds of the mighty Caliber.
What? We don't follow the flow. We created it. 89.5 FM, Real Radio.
Yeah, I was listening back to some episodes of the show from toward the end of last year and remembered how awesome this tune is. Once again, oh, something just happened. Oh, there we go. Glad I was talking at that moment, but I still was like a deer in headlights there. Right? That was awful. So yeah, I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, equipment. Yeah, Streetlights, Hungry T, great record. Big shouts to the boys at Inner City Dance for putting it out. Boom!
hate this board.
God. Yeah, so sounds of RMS in the background. More Toronto business. Shouts to Evan Mayer. Shouts to Bryant Payne. I'm all kerfuffled. What's going on? I hate that. When I push the button, it's like, whee! I'm sure you guys don't like it either. Anyways, if you're tuned in and I don't know, at ScottFree_DJ on the Twitter, Scott Free on Facebook. Hop in the Prophecy group. If you're not a member, ask to be a member, and I will approve it at a time that is appropriate for me. And that is just search The Prophecy on CIUT 89.5 FM on Facebook. Holla!
to something best. For real, do not obey rumors people say, 'cause you can pass the test. For real.
We don't follow the flow. We created it. 89.5 FM, Real Radio.
Yeah, shouts to Royal tuned in. Michael Justin Mendel, groovin'. Freeston Yates, groovin'. James St. Bass, groovin'. Sounds of Rockwell. And Rockwell's coming to town. I am pretty excited. Let's see if I can pull up the info real quick here. DNA Selections finale with Rockwell. Going down April 22nd at Maison Mercer. Supporting Rockwell on the night is Polaris, Mr. Brown, Love Hurts, and Gremlins. Once again, this one going down Friday, April 22nd at Maison Mercer. Rockwell, The Dawn. Super limited $10 tickets available. But then it will be $15 advanced and more on the door. So get your tickets now. Don't sleep. Rockwell. All right, so if I'm gonna plug one show, I better plug the other. Big show coming up. Basically a week's time. Saturday, April 9th. Master Lab 1 year anniversary. With the man in the background, Comics. Alongside the Absolute Dawn, Marcus Intellects, and DRS. Supported by Lush and Traj. That's going down at Tattoo. And that's Saturday, April 9th. Tickets are available. WantTickets.com. Make sure you cop that. Big shouts to Rick, Dino, and Curtis. 1 year of amazing events. So make sure you go check that Master Lab 1 year anniversary at Tattoo, featuring Comics, Marcus Intellects, and DRS with Lush and Traj. Yeah.
We don't follow the flow. We created it. 89.5 FM. Real Radio.
So wrapping up the first hour with this one. Sounds of Scales and The Junkie, shouts to Brad. This one, free download, entitled Pure. So hop on SoundCloud, search for Scales and The Junkie. SKAYLZ. And The Junkie, and Junkies with 2 E's at the end. Search them out, get this free download. Nice liquidy dance floor roller. This one again, entitled Pure, free download. Scales and The Junkie. Big shouts to Brad. I'm gonna play the ads, come up on the other side, and I think I'm gonna kick off with the Skepsis thing that I mentioned earlier. Let's do this, Scott Free. At Scott Free _DJ, Twitter, Scott Free, Facebook, Prophecy, Facebook.
Right here, right now, every every day. CIUT 89.5 Toronto. Sound of your city.
Every Tuesday night at 7, Dementia 13 showcases the glorious other side of the psychedelic era. Join me, your host, Christian Hamilton, and delve into the finest rare gems of early prog rock, sunshine pop, and psychedelia from a vital period lost in time. Dementia 13, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. here on CIUT 89.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Love your radio station this spring during the CIUT 89.5 FM membership drive, April 11th to 17th. Visit CIUT.FM for more details.
Hey, this is Skepsis, and you're listening to Scott Free with The Prophecy here on CIUT 89.5 FM.
Yeah, so like I said, this one's Skepsis out of Calgary. This one entitled Future Duck. A little Duckman reference. And if you know what Duckman is, then you and I are fools. If you don't know what Duckman is, you better figure it out. Because if you thought that Jason Alexander only ever did George Costanza, you're missing out. go search that if you don't know. Special guest inside the studio setting up. So we're going to have a chit-chat or mix, whatever they feel like doing. We're just scoping things out. We'll go from here. Easy. Hope you didn't mind the dead air there. So we're still just getting set up, but I'm playing this little one. This is a vintage Guerra and Stone tune. Can we get a mic check, please? I'm just going to turn down the music here.
How's that?
Ooh. Settling in nicely. What's going on? Introduce yourself.
Yo, it's Dave from Gary & Stone. Out here in Toronto on a Sunday night. Doing it big.
Doing it big. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to make sure to do this. There we go. First time I've done that, so big. All right, so you're in town for the weekend, almost. Friday you were in town. You played for the gentleman behind me.
I did indeed.
And how was that, sir?
It was pretty damn good, yeah. No complaints.
No complaints.
Sick. Yeah, the crowd was great. The venue was really good. Good sound. People were up for hearing a lot of different styles. So yeah, it was wicked.
Oh, fantastic. So you're playing tonight. I'll give the spiel on that. And you are touching down at Baseline tonight. Mm-hmm. I had it open and then I closed it. That was brilliant on my part. All right, Church Sundays, guys. Garrett and Stone, Baseline, and that is at 865 Bloor Street West, alongside Decision, Polaris, Transit Daddy, and Pally. So, what do we got going on in the background right now?
The track in the background right now is the third track from a forthcoming EP on Dispatch.
Yep.
This is one of our tracks, Almost You, and it's a remix EP, so this is a remix by Mako. He's coming out of Bristol, UK. Yeah, so that's what you've got right now. The release is 3 tracks. There's 2 other remixes on there. I won't spoil the surprise for now. We can just play them. And,
yeah. Cool, man. So, tell the people who don't know, how long you guys been doing this? I mean, I was just playing a couple songs there. They're like a couple years old, but you obviously been around longer. I mean, my first intro to you was Proximity, so
okay.
that's Basher's label, right?
It is indeed, yeah. Yeah, that was how we got into releasing, definitely. That was the first label we released on, I think, probably about 4 years ago now. 4 to 5 years, yeah. So Proximity were really good to us. They're a really good label for just upcoming producers and, you know, people trying to get ahead, get a kind of foothold. So we were kind of running with them for like a couple of years, I guess. And it was like a platform to a few other labels, and it's been that way for a few other people as well. There's a few other guys that have come through off of their Extra, actually was on there as well. People have heard of him, and yeah, a few other guys. So yeah, got to pick up the Proximity crew, Basher and Kit and everyone down there. They're still doing really good, just as a kind of platform label to just push new producers, and yeah.
And then to Dispatch.
Yeah, we signed to Dispatch after that. We did a single and then did a couple of EPs, and yeah, I guess that was like about 2 years ago now. The first one was Backhand and Tenfold, which you played on the tracks a minute ago. And it just kind of went from there, really.
And then Program.
And then Program and Ram after that. We did like 3 singles and had some tracks on some compilations on there as well. We've just been kind of rolling with that and Dispatch for like the last year or 2.
Awesome, man. So what was the moment where you were at a rave in the club, whatever, and you were just like, all right, this is it, I gotta get my fingers involved, I gotta get involved? What was that?
Well, I guess the first time I heard D&B was not in a club at all. It was just on a tape pack at the skate park in our hometown, which is Southampton. That's where me and Harry are from.
Are you a Saints fan?
I was back in the day. I don't follow it so much anymore. But
Fair enough.
Yeah. Are they big out here?
No, that's okay. But aren't you impressed that I know that?
Definitely.
Yeah, okay, good.
Don't try and quiz me on any Toronto.
That's okay, don't worry. Okay, so you heard it on a tape pack at the skate park.
Yeah, that was probably my intro to it, to be honest. I didn't really think a lot of it at the time. I was like a metal and kind of grunge kid at the time. I didn't really know what was what, and just ended up going to a couple of races from there. I guess the kind of cliche moment was the first time I saw Andy C play back in the day, and it just kind of spawned from there, really.
Nice. And then how did you meet the other half?
We just met through mutual friends in our area doing the same kind of activities around the time. I'm not going to go into specifics, but yeah, we probably all kind of met in roughly the same way, I guess.
Fair enough, Fair enough.
But just through mutual friends in the area. We went to the same school, but Harry's a couple of years older than me, so didn't really know each other at school or anything. But
So you're telling me just before we went on air that this is the last night of the tour, so break down the tour a bit for these folks.
Okay, cool. First night was LA. That was Respect at the Dragonfly.
Shouts to Machete.
Yeah, shouts to Rob and all the crew down there. That was sick. That was really good. Had a great time in LA. Did a bit of skateboarding on Venice Beach. That was fun. And saw some sights. The second one was a festival called Suspended in a Sunbeam, which was out in the desert in California. It was a bit of a kind of burner style, bit of a kind of free sort of vibe. It was cool.
There you go.
It was different to the kind of shows we normally do, but I had a good time. It was fun. Then we were at San Francisco for Stamina Sundays, which was Jamal and Sam Bloom. So got to send a shout to those guys as well.
Nice.
That was a wicked show. Then it was San Diego, which was a night called Organised Grime on a Monday. That was wicked as well. That was a good one for a Monday. Then kicked it for a few days and came down here
Nice.
for the Friday night at Coalition.
Yep.
And then Montreal last night, which was cool as well. And back here tonight.
Back here tonight.
Last one, yeah.
And then home tomorrow?
Monday.
Yeah. Nice. Excellent. All right. So, what's coming up? What can you share with us? What's the remix right now?
So this I'm playing right now is a track we did called Plates, which is off of the same original EP. The remix is by Blocks and Escher. So this one's a bit of a deeper one.
Yeah.
We haven't played it out in club sets much. It's a bit more kind of heads down, but it's really cool. It's just more of a sort of spaced out, tricked out sort of vibe.
Well, their narrative music stuff's kind of like this, right?
That's this one, and then there's one more that we can play in a bit. So they're all on the same release.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
But other than that, what's coming up?
So other than that, we literally just put out a remix for Saxon, if you know those guys, which was on Soul Trader Records.
Yeah.
We've also got a remix for a label called Authentic Music, which is out in I think about a month's time. Those guys are coming out of Czech Republic. And then this EP, which is a 3-track on Dispatch, should be out in a couple of months. We've been told. We've been told. But we'll see how it
Fair
goes.
enough.
And then we've got a couple of collabs on the Dispatch 100 release, which should be really good. One's with CERN and another one's with Amos, who we're all good friends with as well. So there's a few things. We've got another project on the go at the moment, but we can't really let too many details go about that one right now. But that's
fine.
Kind of where it's at right now.
In the vault.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we'll get you out of here on this. We'll play the other remix after. But how can people follow you guys? What's the social media?
Yeah, so Facebook, just search Gareth Stone. It's just facebook.com/Gareth Stone. And same with SoundCloud. You can just pick us up on there. You can hit up Gareth DJ on Instagram and Twitter as well. I think that's pretty much it.
All right. So once again, gang, if you want to check out Gareth Stone tonight, it's touching down at Baseline, which is 865 Bloor Street. It's right around Ossington, if you don't know. And supported by Decision, Polaris, Transit Daddy, and Pally. All right, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll let this one roll out, and then we'll play the other remix, and we'll introduce it on the other side. Take it easy. Oh, go ahead. Any shout-outs? Let it go.
Oh, yeah, just got a shout-out to basically everyone that's been involved in this tour so far. Shout-out to Rob and Davis, the gang in LA. Shout-out to Jamal and Sam. Also to Jay down in San Diego. And then obviously Drew, Cal, Sam, the boss, everyone that's looked after me out here in Toronto as well, And thanks to yourself for having me down on the show. It's been cool.
Very much a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Wicked, man.
Take care. Yeah, so as I mentioned, so this is Gareth Stone original entitled Unbreakable, and this is the Zero T remix. And Zero T definitely been affiliated with Dispatch for a long time. Yeah, so enjoy this one. Once again, search out Gareth Stone on Facebook and Gareth DJ on all the other ones, and go check this man out tonight at Baseline. I'm gonna let these guys maybe go have some dessert or something, whatever they feel like doing. Maybe a few cold soda pops, whatever they're feeling like. But we're gonna let this one roll out, and then I'll hop back in the mix for the final 30 minutes of this week's edition of The Prophecy. Give me a signal, let me know you're tuned in at ScottFree_DJ, Scott Free on Facebook. Hey, there we go. All right, I'm going to hop back in the mix for 30 minutes. I'm going to play really heavy stuff because I haven't played any heavy stuff in the last couple of trips in. I've been keeping it on the jungle tip, so things are going to get a little heavy. This is the sounds of Aggressor Bunks. This one's entitled Quash. 30 minutes, all killer, no filler kind of style setup. So let's do this. Thank you for hanging in on the technical difficulties, and they're not really technical difficulties. It's just old equipment that I own that I bring with me, and it's slow sometimes. Boom. All right, let's do it.
Keep it locked. Keep it locked. Keep it locked. 89.5.
Sharp with napalm, blows up. No guts. with napalm blows up. I embrace y'all with napalm blows up. No guts. I embrace y'all with napalm blows up, blows up, blows up, blows up, blows up, blows up, blows up. Sharp with napalm blows up. No guts. I embrace sharp with napalm blows up. Sharp with napalm blows up. No guts. I embrace sharp time.
Keep it locked. 89.5. Keep it locked. 89.5. Keep it locked. Keep it 89.5. 89.5.
It's dangerous.
right, so we got about 5 minutes left in the broadcast this week. Hope everyone enjoyed the selections tonight, especially the guest visit from one half of Gara and Stone in the studio. Just chopping it up, giving us a bit of info about the tour he was just on, wrapping up here in Toronto tonight, going down at Baseline. Church Sundays returns. Big shouts to Mr. Brown and Rick Toxic. So I'm going to play this one, play one more,
Purify,
and get out of the way for Equalizing Distort, which is coming up at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. So once again, it's been my pleasure. At ScottFree_DJ on Twitter, Scott Free on Facebook. If you're not already following me, follow. Do the right thing, sheeple. Follow. Anyways, have a great one. I'll chat with y'all in 2 weeks for the spring membership drive.